Hi guys, welcome to Monitoring and Evaluation Made Simple. I'm your host, Coach Alexander. Setting targets for performance measures. Setting targets for performance measures. This is what we're going to be looking at today. I'm so glad that you've come to this channel. But if you're here for the very first time, welcome. My name is Coach Alexander. I've been doing this for 10 years now and I enjoy every bit of it. It's really part of me. I have a passion for monitoring and evaluation. So just in case you don't know about this, I've been running the 6 months coaching program, and it is an interesting program because you get one-on-one coaching in terms of monitoring and evaluation. People have benefited from this. We piloted this last year and we are running it, and next year it's going to be much more intense. So what you get from this program, you get a certificate and access to 15 Udemy courses for free, and you also get assessed. But there's something I also want to make sure that you know about. A team is being assembled to review the curriculum. So next year is going to be an exciting time. In December, we're going to start reviewing the M&D curriculum that we've been using some experts. So it's going to be an exciting time. So for those of you who've not enrolled in this short course on Udemy, please do well to enroll in it. How to write an effective research paper. It is very affordable. You won't lose anything. So as usual, you can use the timestamps in the description below because most of the times my videos are long. I know some have complained that I talk too much, but please don't feel bad for me saying a lot of things because I feel that you need to get everything that needs to be known about M&D. So remember to watch this video from start to finish. I'll urge you to do so because I know for a certainty it's gonna benefit you fully. Okay, so the outline is like this. We want to know what targets are. Okay, what are targets? And secondly, why are targets important? All right, and how do you set these targets? So this is how the outline is going to be. It's short right now, but it's full of information that I really want you to know about. So this is applicable to any organization. This is applicable to any organization, whether it is a multi-million organization or an NGO, wherever. You can be using this information to progress. Okay, so now let's get straight into business right now. So what are targets? All right, now targets, it's interesting because this is a familiar word to all of us. We use this word almost every day. If we're not using it every day, at least every week or every month, we're using this word because it impacts on ourselves. So when we say we are setting a target, it's really a goal or objective that we want to achieve within a specific period of time. So if you're running a business, let's say you're producing bananas, okay? I just gave you an example, bananas there. And you set for yourself this target that you want to, every year you want to be at least selling 1,000 bananas to the market. So that really is your target. But you may have personal targets, self-development targets. You might set yourself a target by saying, at the end of 3 years, I should be able to get my bachelor's degree, or I should be able to get my master's degree, or a PhD. All right. So regardless of what you're setting for yourselves, this is something as like a goal. It's a commitment that you've set for yourself or for your organization. Every organization, let me emphasize this point, every organization sets targets. Every person does the same. And it is so interesting because if you asked anybody what they want to achieve in life, they're going to tell you a lot of things. Others want to build a house, others want to get married, others want to buy their dream car. We all have these goals in life. Those are the targets we've set for ourselves. And it's good to set targets because it makes life more fulfilling. it makes life more exciting. Now, there's something I need to mention, and targets are closely linked to key performance indicators. And I have to mention also that your targets must be SMART. When we say SMART, you need to be specific. You need to have them measurable. They should be measurable. They should be attainable, realistic, and time-bound. Okay. So now this is important because, especially for an organization, at individual level, we don't really take much time to pay attention to these things. But at an organization level, it's important that as we are setting these targets, we really know what we want. We really know where we want to be. And by doing that, we are essentially making things and life easier for ourselves. Okay, so now why are targets important? The key really is that you've set yourself a commitment. And in the development humanitarian world, target setting, in fact, it's not just in the humanitarian world, even in the business environment, target setting is so important because stakeholders want to see growth. Okay, you don't want to be stagnant for the rest of your life, do you? You want to experience exponential growth in your life, because when you do that, it is much more fulfilling. You feel a sense of success. All right. Now, I know there's this debate of what success is. Success can mean different things to different people, but essentially, it really comes down to you as an individual. What is it you really want out of life? Okay. What is it you have set for yourself? Where do you want to be? Now, when you set targets in an organization that is being donor funded, a lot of stakeholders are interested to know how their money is being spent, and is their money translating to the targets that you had actually put in the project documents. All right, so now this is actually the last slide, and I might spend just a bit more time. And when I say a bit more time, it could be 5 minutes, but I'm sure you get the point. So there are basically two ways of setting targets. All right. And I must mention that in the 6 months coaching program, we do touch on these areas very much. So there are basically two ways of setting targets. The first way is, first of all, you need to establish a baseline. Okay. I put baseline date. It's actually baseline data. The baseline data is going to help you set benchmarks. So for example, let's say currently your business is producing 20 bananas a year. Okay, that is your baseline data. So using that baseline data, you're able to determine a realistic overview of what things could be in the next 3 to 4 years, because you know what your current capacity is. So you'll be more like looking into the future based on what you have on hand right now. So now when you're setting such a target, you also need to take into account the resource base that you have in your organization. So when I talk about resources, essentially what I'm talking about here is the financial resources, the human capital. It could be also technology and also time. All right. So you have to be able to sit down as stakeholders, brainstorm, look at what you have, and see what you are capable of doing in the next 3 to 4 years. So you jointly agree that this is where we are, but based on the current levels of resources, where can we go in the next years to come. Then the second way to set targets is actually forecasting. Okay, now forecasting is an interesting word because you're trying to foretell the future. It's like a prediction. The difference between the first point that I mentioned is that with forecasting, you're not just using baseline data, but you mathematically, actually you use all the past data that you have. It could be the past 5 to 10 years of data of your business, how you were performing, and using that data, you mathematically predict how your performance could be in the next 3 to 5 years in future. So now, of course, that sometimes it requires, I must say, great mathematicians, because there are many factors that affect performance, and you can't just say that your company will grow steadily, because there could be so many factors, unforeseen risks that might come into play. Right now we are talking about the COVID-19 pandemic and seeing how it has negatively affected the globe is a great example of how unforeseen events can negatively impact on the work that we do and even the business. So monitoring and evaluation officers, specialists, coordinators, managers must know how to use these methods, okay, and must be convincing in using these techniques even in their organizations. So that was the last slide, but I want to emphasize that the 6 months coaching program enrollment has begun, and I must urge you to start bringing in your applications so that you can now derive the full and maximum benefit of being the M&D specialist, officer, coordinator, manager that you were truly meant to be. So please do not hesitate to write to me. My email is in the description below, and we will essentially send you the application so that you can enroll into this program. Of course, there's a fee attached, but whatever the case, you gain much more than you are receiving. So I've been your host, Coach Alexander. Until we meet again, see you on the other side. Bye.